Tonight on Cult Pop, we're going to attend Motor City Nightmare's first fall convention. So let's go on inside and see who we can find. Welcome back to Cult Pop. With me now is Scout Taylor Compton. I am thrilled to have you on the show today. You're a wonderful woman, and I'm just pleased to have you here today.
Oh, yay! Thank you.
As I told you, we're going to jump right in and talk about some fun film history of yours.
Cool.
And I want to go first to the Halloween and talk about your experiences on both Halloween 1 and 2. It's got to be interesting. One of the reasons you're obviously here today is because this is a genre convention,
yes,
and people really liked you in those films, and so you're here today. Talk a little bit about the experience and why it was cool for you.
Yeah, it was quite different doing the first one and the second one. The first one was a little bit more nerve-wracking. It took a lot to get the role, and Rob wanted me. I guess I was the first tape that he ever saw, and he wanted me right off the bat. But it was the dimension that I had to fight for. So I went in about I have to say maybe 6 or 7 times just fighting for the role. And when I finally got it, I was really nervous. I had no idea how big the horror franchise was for Michael Myers. And it hit instantly the media, and just people started comparing me to Jamie Lee Curtis, and that's when my nerves kicked in. But the first day on set, Rob was like, hey, just wash that out. You're you, Jamie is her, just make Laurie Strode yourself. And so I did, and doing the first one, I was 17 years old, and everyone was amazing, and Rob is outstanding. He's one of the most gentle humans and smartest men you'll ever meet in your life. And the second one was just fun because, it was like a reunion. So we were like a big old family joining back together for 2 months to go film this movie, and we got to develop the characters into kind of who we thought they would evolve into. So that was a lot of fun doing that. But it was probably one of the best experiences doing both of those movies and working with the amazing crew and the director and the cast. And yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, props to you because you were fantastic in the movies, and then you did a really good job of, not that it's bad to be a scream queen, but the Jamie Lee Curtis, you can be in 100 horror movies from now till the end of time. That'll be great. But to not have to live with that, the next Jamie Lee, I think you did a good job of putting your own stamp, doing your own thing.
Yes, which is, you have to, especially when you're doing a reboot. You can't compare yourself, and you can't make it exactly like the original. It will never be the original. We are in a different era, and we're different people. Things were a lot softer back then, and that's not up to date. That's not us. So I definitely got to make Laurie Strode myself, which was really cool.
And I think you did a great job, and you made it your own. And I really enjoyed those harder, darker versions. I'm a big zombie fan, so I was real impressed with that.
Cool.
But to jump from that now, another role, The Runaways, Lita Ford. Of all women to now have to, so the Halloween thing was a hell of a challenge.
Yes.
Now The Runaways and Lita Ford of all women. Come on, man, rock and roll goddess.
It's so strange because the movies that I've Love Ranch, The Runaways, Halloween, those are the ones that I really had to fight for, and those are the ones that I really, really, really wanted. And originally, The Runaways, I auditioned for Joan, and I auditioned for Sandy West because I play drums. And then they offered me the bass player. So I learned bass, and I was supposed to be her. And we were doing band rehearsal, and Joan was watching me. And she came up to me, and they were really having a hard time finding their Lita Ford. And she came up to me, and she was like, you play like Lita. You should be Lita. And so they're like, would you want that? Would you want to play her? And of course, I was just like, yeah, before I could even realize, I was like, you don't even know how to play guitar, Scout. What are you doing? Thankfully, I know how to read tabs really well from being a drummer. And we had incredible teachers. So they taught me in 2 weeks the 5 songs that we performed in the movie. So it was quite an experience, and I felt really badass.
Well, now that's something
being Lita Ford. So.
I'd like to ask a little more about that, because I was really interested. When you get involved with a film that's about music, and then they try to make it kind of authentic, so you are trying to learn at least something. How much? So is that okay? Filming stops, time to learn. Do you learn beforehand, and then you get into filming, or how does that work?
Well, we did about a month before rehearsals, but like I said, I was rehearsing the bass player, so I was learning bass.
Right.
So when I came on to being Lita Ford,
you've got to switch gears.
I had to switch gears, and I had 2 weeks to learn it. And also too, we would film and then we would have 2 days off, or we wouldn't be doing like music, and I would have to go to my teacher for 2 days and like learn the next song and try to like kind of struggle with it. But like I said, they were really good. So and too, like I was a huge Lita Ford fan. I was a huge Runaways fan. So to be that devoted to that, and I remember actually calling Rob during the audition process, and I was like, dude, do you know like a teacher? Do you know someone that can teach? And he like called all his friends, and he was like, yeah, I know this guy. Go to this guy. He'll teach you. Like I was devoted. I wanted that role. And I remember my last audition process I met Kristen, and they brought me in, and I was super nervous, and I wrote like a note of like why I would be like a great fit to be in the movie. Like I did everything,
you wanted this,
every step. And they brought me in to meet Chris, and I remember sitting in this tiny room, and we were just like, hey, how are you? And we like vibed really well right off the bat. And then when I left, I got the call, and they're like, yeah, they're like, she liked you, let's do it, you're in the movie. I was like, oh my God, okay.
Wow. Good.
It was really cool.
Good story, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, of course.
I want to switch gears a little bit, and we talked, the television work you've done, I think that's really cool when people are involved in episodic TV on stuff that everybody sees, like NCIS, Los Angeles, CSI, Charmed, Cold Case. So I know that's how you get your chops, and you keep working and you get out there more and more and more. Talk a little bit about that experience as opposed to the film experience.
You know, it's a lot different. When I got in this business when I was 12 years old, and you can either go the Disney route as a child and doing all the Barbie commercials and all that stuff, or you can go the dark, twisted, like TV route, and that's just what I connected with. I didn't connect with being like the comedy girl. I was really into like dark things that hit home and like that meant something, and that I could stand up for, like, you know. So I started working with Jay Leno, and I worked with him for 2 years doing skits with Jay on his show. And then from that, I started doing like Gilmore Girls and Charmed, and like then all these like really hard TV shows started coming up where I was like playing prostitutes and like and like it was like, but telling a story about like these girls and what they've gone through. And I just connected more with that kind of stuff. I think that's why I really like doing like stories that are based on true stories and that have a purpose. But yeah, it's a lot different. I mean, movies are longer, and you develop a little bit more of a relationship with people, and then you have to let go. Filming's like you're in and out. But yeah, I mean, I love doing both. I have a love for both of them. So yeah.
Excellent. Well, I'm sure you're going to continue to do both throughout your career.
I hope so.
Switching gears a little bit, bringing you here. It's great to have you on, and I get to meet you because of this convention. I'm curious about your thoughts, either positive or negative, about the convention experience, in the fact that you get to interact with fans, and normally a lot of actors that aren't in the genre stuff don't necessarily, besides a moment at the coffee house, hey, I loved you in this.
Yeah.
Here you get really passionate people coming up and saying, I loved you in Halloween, you were great in The Runaways, you're really important to me because. Some people are put off by that, and some people absolutely love it. I'm curious about your thoughts about the whole convention thing.
You know, I remember doing my first one, I think it was Horror Hound, and you know, you think horror fans, it's like, oh my God, what am I gonna get into? Like, that's scary people, you know. They're the sweetest people you've ever met in your entire life. And my dad is a coroner and a mortician, so I grew up in this world. So I end up spending my money at all the vendors and like buying their stuff and like trading in and out, and like I grew up in this, so it's like a second home for me. I love this stuff. I'm a rock and roll girl myself. I'm not like the girl next door. I know a lot of my friends that do these signings, they're like, oh my God, what do you expect? It's like, dude, it's the best time you will have in your life, and it happens 3 days out of a year. I mean, like, go have fun. And I always have fun doing these. Like, I've bought so many different things at these things.
Very cool, very cool. That's what I was looking for. We're just about out of time. I want you to be able to let your fans know how to get a hold of you.
I have an Instagram, which is Under the Sea Scout, and then I have a Twitter, which is Pouty Scout.
Okay. And finally, before we let you go, what can people be looking for down the line from you?
I have a movie coming out in January called Ghost House, a movie I just wrapped with Lou Temple called Feral, that just hit Dread Central, that will be coming out. And right now, I'm going to be in a season of Nashville, the TV show on ABC.
Oh, okay, excellent.
So I'm very excited about that.
Okay, well, congratulations. I wish you continued success, and I really appreciate you being on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Stay tuned for more Cult Pop. Welcome back to Cult Pop. I am really thrilled right now to have actor Tyler Mane with me. Tyler, I'm really thrilled that you took the time to be on the show today. Thanks a lot.
Hey, thanks for having me.
There's a lot of things I want to talk about, so I want to jump on in and kind of get some of your experiences and some of the films we're going to talk about. Of course, people are going to remember you straight off the bat from the X-Men movie, Sabretooth.
Sabretooth in the first X-Men, yeah.
And what an incredible, incredible role. That's an iconic role. Wolverine, Sabretooth, his arch enemy. And you just took that character and made him your own. And you were a badass and people loved it. I want you to talk a little bit about the experience of bringing Sabretooth to screen and maybe how long it took to be in makeup and just the experience in general.
Yeah. I'd seen the cartoon as a kid, had no idea how big the X-Men franchise was. And when I was doing research for it, I went into a comic book shop in LA. And I was like, so, hey, do you guys got any of these X-Men comics? And the guy looked at me and goes, yeah, these four rows over here,
1 or 2 dozen boxes.
I said, you got anything with the character Sabretooth? He looks at me and goes, yeah, these 2 rows here. I go, could you help me pick out some comic books to look at? And so he picked out some of the more
iconic
ones, and so I started my research there, and I really, really wanted to get this role. So I went out and I got fake fangs, and I got Polydent and I glued them in, and I went in to meet the director, Bryan Singer. And there was this kid that was sitting on the edge of the couch typing, and I went in with these teeth on, and I was like, feeling like a real idiot, I'm like, but I was like, I'm gonna get it. So I go, I'm here to see Mr. Singer. He goes, he keeps typing. I'm like, who the heck is this guy? I'm standing there for about a minute. He goes, oh, I'm sorry, I just had to finish that scene that I was rewriting. He looks up, oh my God, it's Sabretooth. And I talked to him for a little bit, and he was looking at me, he goes, those teeth are really cool. I go, oh, thank you. And my audition process for X-Men was he jumped up on, there was a glass table, I remember it. He jumps up on the glass table and says, choke me. So I choked him. And he goes, oh my God, it's Sabretooth. So then that's how I got the role of Sabretooth.
Oh, wow, fantastic.
And it took about 4 hours, 4.5 hours for makeup. And then all the leather and everything. But when I was in that costume,
you were Sabretooth, weren't you?
Yeah, it was really cool. I've been very lucky with all my roles and everything that I've been able to do, with the X-Men, the Halloweens, the Troys and stuff, and I've been very blessed to work with a lot of really cool people.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the Halloween franchise. It's rebooted. I've talked with other actors about this kind of process, but you guys really did a great job of making it your own. It's a different era now. The sensibilities are different.
Yeah.
And from the directing to the acting, and even your presence as Michael, different feel, different vibe. Really like that. Talk a little bit about the Halloweens 1 and 2 and how that process and what you thought.
Yeah, when I first talked to Rob, he explained what he was going to do and make Michael Myers more than a one-dimensional character like it was in the other ones, and show the backstory and tell the backstory of how he's a product of his environment and show all of that, how he became Michael Myers. And that really interested me and intrigued me because it's kind of crazy and scary to think the guy next door could end up being this kind of a serial killer, And so the take on that, and then from the first one to the second one, I said, well, Rob, I don't want to do the same sort of thing. I've got to kick it up a notch, and he agreed, and the kills were just that much more intense and brutal, and it was just fantastic, and I had a great time working with everybody on that.
And it's so funny, I mentioned this to you off camera, talking to you now, talking to you off, you're obviously a great guy, and you've played 2 of the most iconic badasses and mean, horrible people. It's just kind of unique. I wanted to switch gears a little bit and kind of studying up on you a little bit. You did an X-Men video game, and obviously it tied into the X-Men movie, and it talked about doing the Sabretooth. What is that like? What is the voice acting and all that like? Do you actually have to do motion capture, or is it just voice work? Or?
It was the voice work. I just went in and recorded the voice, and
is that a unique? It just seems a really interesting way to make it.
Yeah, the whole process is interesting. You'll have like a couple of pages of different sayings, and you just go in there and you lay down the sayings and get the intenseness in the voice and do that, and it was a lot of fun. And I got to even do the voice of the doll.
Oh wow!
The X-Men doll, the Sabretooth doll, and it's kind of funny because someone came up to me at one time at a show and it started talking, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's myself
me,
talking.
yeah.
It was kind of cool.
Well, it's got to be a unique feeling that film in and of itself, being part of film and television, that's incredible. And that's very few. I'm going to say I'm also on a video game that will be around forever. That's pretty neat. That's pretty cool.
It is. Like I say, I've been very lucky, very lucky and very blessed.
Now, this is a great segue to talking about, again, we spoke a little bit about off camera. I wanted to talk to you about the convention situation. When you come to a convention like this, it's unique as an actor in this in genre stuff that you have an opportunity to come to a convention and people tell you, and wow, you were fantastic, and I'm so pleased to meet you, and I want a picture, and I want to share this story. That doesn't happen with a lot of other professions, or most actors don't have that opportunity. I'd like to, if you would, talk a little bit about your experiences.
I mean, I love doing the conventions because you get to meet the fans, and without the fans, we don't have a job, So, and it's just a fantastic way to get the fan feedback. And since I've started my own production company, Main Entertainment, I'm trying to get out and meet the fans more, to spread the word about Main Entertainment and our projects that we're doing, and the people that have seen our first project, Compound Fracture, have really enjoyed it, and we're getting ready to do our next one, Penance Lane, and we're getting some really good feedback from that too. So it's the fan interaction. I mean, especially with the horror fans, they're die-hard fans, and it's I just love meeting all of them.
Compound Fracture, there's some names here that I think are also in that film. Is there?
Yeah, Todd Farmer is here, and my wife Renee Geerlings is here, and so yeah, we're just out promoting the movie and having a good time.
Fantastic. And finally, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, what's coming down the pipeline, but that's kind of obviously what's coming down the pipeline for you. How can people learn more? Let's send them to the website, learn more about your production company.
Yeah,
and,
please
and so
do.
on and so forth.
Please, yeah. It's mainentertainment.com, MANE-entertainment.com. Also, Main Entertain on Facebook and Twitter. And then I also have the Tyler Main fan page on Facebook, and Tyler_Main on Twitter. So follow along, check it out.
Okay, and I see the Compound Fracture is available on Blu-ray and DVD now, so people can buy that.
It's on DVD. You can get that from the Main Entertainment website. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll send people there. Hey, it's been a real pleasure. I'm glad you took the time to be on the show with me today. I wish you continued success, and I'll keep up with you throughout the next couple years, and we'll make sure we help promote anything that your entertainment comes out with.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Pleasure. Stay tuned for more Cult Pop. I'm back with Tracy No, lead makeup artist over at Dark Legacy Haunted Attraction, one of my favorite haunted attractions in all the US and my #1 favorite in Michigan. Absolutely incredible place. Tracy, thanks a lot for being on the show. Really appreciate you being on.
Glad to be here.
You do magnificent work. The special effects stuff is fantastic. The makeup work is fantastic. Talk a little bit about Dark Legacy and some of the things people will see walking through the haunted attraction.
Dark Legacy is a 3 haunted attraction that you go from one to the other to the other. The first attraction is GOH, which is a government-owned haunt. That's a military science fiction type theme, like Roswell. And then you go to the KDC, which is the Kensington Detention Center, which is more of a medical feel. It was a current hospital. And our last is Fang. It's totally been redone. We have movie quality sets in there now. It's gonna be really amazing, the detail and the artwork and the makeup especially that we can do now with the building blocks we've been given.
Excellent. Talk a little bit about some of the, without giving too many secrets away, we'll show a video in a little bit, but some of the crazy little secrets, because it's above and beyond. When you go through that haunted, there's some crazy things going on in there.
We've learned to use actors and animatronics and set pieces together to get the best feeling out of the haunt. We want people to be screaming out the doors by the time we're done.
One of the things I think that's very interesting that people maybe don't realize is that really having a haunted attraction like that is a year-round, or at least 3/4 of the year job. When I talk to you in the summertime, you guys are working on set pieces, you guys are painting, getting things done. Talk a little bit about how many work hours goes into getting it ready.
It is nonstop. We usually take a month or two off at the end of October, and then it's straight back in there, tearing down, rebuilding, redesigning, top coating, foaming. It's a lot of work.
Excellent. Let's right now take a look at Dark Legacy Haunted Attraction. We're going to do a little walkthrough real quick and take a look.
Hey, Dr. Bentley! Dr. Bentley!
Hello, Billy. I'm sorry. I mean Bill. I forget you're a man now. Mister, I'm an adult because I'm 18. Is that my case?
Yeah, I brought it over from the hotel.
Give me that. Yes. It's ready. All right, now. Sit down, Bill. Put this on.
Why am I always first?
You are going to be my lab rat. Yes. Yes. Let it take your mind.
Hey, Bill Amberson, let us travel through your mind. Now, shall we begin?
Oh my, what a wonderful sky! So much to see. Take my hand and follow me.
Daisies, rainbows, lollipops, fun. Let us take a journey back to 2001.
Unicorns, mittens, kittens, sun. I hope you have good shoes because now it's time to run.
Run? What do you mean, run? Guys?
Boy, do you remember that time you were a kid? You lied and stole your mother's pack of gum.
Just chewing. She went to work with bad breath and got too close to Rick. And that's the day she lost her job.
And then there was September. You caused a fender bender by pushing that old lady across the street. Made her cause a ruckus, revealing her buttocks, tainted from the musk of her shit.
once knew will no longer rescue you. Time to retire to the darkness, to your resting place.
So that gives you an idea about Dark Legacy. I'm telling you, it is an incredible attraction. It'll scare the hell out of you. You're gonna have a lot of fun. If you like the scares, it's a place for you. I want to talk about some of the specifics before we let you go today, Tracy. What's kind of the age limit, do you think, for getting somebody in there?
We recommend 14 and above. We'll lower with the parent. You know, we don't want to terrify kids to where they're not going to want to come back when they get older, but 14's around that age.
Tracy, let's talk specifics in dates. I know it opens in September, and then it's going to stay open right through October into early November. What weekdays is it open, and times and things of that nature?
Yeah, we open up September 18th. We're open mainly weekends and some Fridays. You need to check the website or the Facebook page to get specific times.
Okay, and finally, why don't you tell the folks at home how they can learn more about you, both on Facebook and on your website?
Okay, if you go to Dark Legacy Haunted Attraction on Facebook, you can like us and you can like us and
follow you
there. We also have the website, which is michigansbesthaunt.com. It has our schedule on there also.
Okay, and one thing I want to point out is that when you go to the website, they've got a lot of cool swag, hoodies, t-shirts, things like that. You're going to want to get one just to help support them because it's incredible stuff, and it goes back to making the haunt even more incredible. Trace, I want to tell you, I sincerely love the hell out of that haunt. You do great work. I respect what you do there. I want to thank you for being on the show today, and I wish you continued success.
Thank you.
Okay, stay tuned for more Cult Pop. Back with me now is Todd Brunswick. Todd, thank you as always. You're such a wonderful host. We are so pleased to be here. Another wonderful convention you're putting on, but a different spin. We're here in the fall.
Yes.
So tell us what's going on here with Motor City Nightmares Fall Convention.
The Fall Convention, September show, you know, over the last 8 years, the April show, MCN, Motor City Nightmares, has grown substantially from where we started to last spring getting like a tick over 7,000 people through the 7,300 and change, I think, through the door. It's getting too full, and it's been happening a couple years, and some of the options were to possibly even find a bigger venue in the area. Nobody really wanted to do that. The Novi Sheridan is kind of like the home of Motor City Nightmares. The staff, we know it. It's kind of down.
Everybody likes it here.
Yeah, and it's a great venue. The guests that do come in from all over, who travel extensively, love it here, and it really just helps put a better show together. So the other option was we open a second show and try that out to see if that flies. And so we did. We just, and we decided to put it September, last weekend of September next year. This was our first weekend, but it'll be the last weekend in September and then the last weekend in April.
There's been some great guests for this one, different than what we're used to in the spring, and although it's always different, a different vibe, a different feel, a lot of different faces. So it's been, we've had a lot of the guests on, so we're having a great time. Fred Williamson, Tom Adkins, a lot of different people, just having a great time. Talk a bit about the fact, so this is our thing now, and the spring's coming around. We got 2016 coming, and let's remind people of those dates and when, because people could start buying tickets now, reserving hotel rooms.
Yeah, well, after October 1st, everything will be up. We got to clear out September, but the April 22nd through the 24th, last full weekend in April this year. We already have, of course, Sid Haig, Kane Hodder, Dee Wallace, our three the core group that's always been MCN. In addition to Ernie Hudson is already booked to attend the show. Vernon Wells, Wes from the original Road Warrior, is coming out. And then we were just talking to the possibility of who we may book, and I can't say exactly who it is, but he's been here before, and he was recently in Guardians of the Galaxy, so that's all I can say about MR. and
you'll literally be in touch with dozens of people between now and the convention, and when the month of March, April comes, there's an ad a day of in the April show, so and so has now been booked, so and so has now been booked. So it's worth getting the tickets.
And what we've started too is if you buy tickets in advance, they're cheaper. So and we're going through. I think it's brown paper ticket is the thing we're working with now. Makes it easier for people buying tickets. It makes it easier for us to keep track of who's going where. But in addition to doing that, we've now all the film industry seminars, workshops, and things like we started doing a few years ago now, are all included in the day ticket price. So if you're coming on Saturday, you get to go to not only all the celebrity panels,
the festivals,
the film festivals, but you can now go to the celebrity panels, the special effects workshops, the screenwriter workshops, producer workshops, director workshops, actor workshops. It's all part of the ticket. So, I think a Saturday ticket's like $30 for the day, but that includes everything from 10 in the morning until 7 for that, and then afterwards. The movies are going. I think the last shows typically start at 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning. So the movies are going till whenever.
Excellent. It's a party here. It's a great time. If you haven't been, it's a great time to come. But a lot of people who are watching this, and a lot of people who come to this convention, quite frankly, don't know that you and your wife are a filmmaking team of quite a bit of note locally. And you've got film you're going to be working on in the fall, and you've got a Carnage series. Why don't you talk a little bit about the film you're going to be doing, and then how people can learn more about your films?
Okay, cool. Yeah, this we did the Carnage series, and that's a different line. We're doing Mr. Jingles 3. Or the third Mr. Jingles movie, because they're not actually a sequence, but it's called Mr. Jingles All The Way, and it's obviously going to be a demon clown Christmas movie.
Oh, I thought it was going to be a road film.
Yeah, it is a road film. Yeah, no. Mr. Jingles All The Way, and it's actually we're bringing back 2 characters from the original Mr. Jingles storyline, adding 3 new characters, one of which is the big Krampus. So it's actually going to be Mr. Jingles versus Krampus. So it's a MJVK movie is what we're going with.
Battle Royale, I like it. Okay.
Yeah, it's a battle royale with Jingles and Krampus.
Excellent, excellent. And for people who want to learn more about it, you've got quite a vast film library, very affordable to be able to get the films. How can they learn more about that?
MotorCityNightmares.com or our Facebook. I mean, everything's being updated on the Facebook page. Facebook.com, Motor City Nightmares, I think, / whatever it is. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, that kind of does it. I just wanted to touch base with you again. Man. Want to thank you. I wish you continued success. This is a wonderful convention. We're really looking forward to 2016. It's hard to believe we're saying that already.
I know, right?
But, I encourage everybody out there.
It's away, yeah.
Go online, grab your tickets. Todd, thanks for being with me as always.
Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate it.
You bet.
Folks, go online, learn more about Motor City Nightmares. I want to see you at next year's convention. Stay tuned for more Cult Pop. Wow, what a great show. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoy bringing it to you. As always, check out the website, www.cultpop.com. We'll see you next time.